And welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So with Dragon Hunts, you can obtain some of the best gear in the game with your mythic gear just here. And for healers, you can particularly get these boots, which are the Superior Stompers of the Dragon Hunter. And they claim to increase your outgoing healing by 5%, yet decreasing your incoming healing. And we can see we have those boots right here, and they should increase my outgoing healing stat by 5% and reduce my incoming healing stat by 30%. This is basically like a tit for tat. You're going to increase your outgoing healing so you can heal everybody more, but on the flip side, you're reducing the amount of healing you can heal yourself. Now, a good healer, that won't matter. But is it worth using these boots, and do they even work? For example, let's dismiss my companion so that we don't have capped outgoing healing. There we go, 74.8%. And if we remove these boots, you should expect to see this outgoing healing being reduced by 5%. We can see we just switched simply to some boots with the same item level, pretty much the same stats, and there's no change in my outgoing healing. We equip the boots again, it should be increasing my outgoing healing, and it doesn't. And other people noticed this well before I did. Back in July the 21st, somebody reported it here for like Xbox, and again over here on July the 5th for PC, saying that they do not change your outgoing healing stat, which no they don't. But do they then work? As again, it's Cryptic Studios we're dealing with. They can definitely have some bonuses and not increase your stat, yet actually work. A good example is Fortified Nature. It says it gives defense, and when you have a look and you're in combat, it doesn't increase your defensive stat, but it does work. It does give you survivability through defense. So is it the same with these boots? Well, let's again switch over to these boots with same stats, but without the bonus to our healing, and go to these dummies. We can see we heal them for 82k there. 82k, and then we go and switch to those boots that should increase my outgoing healing. We heal these guys now. We can see on a crit 84. So they do actually work. They do increase the amount you heal for. Again, without the boots, we're healing on a crit for, as you can see, 82k instead of 84k. So they are increasing my outgoing healing. And we can summon our companion. You can see that there when we have our outgoing healing at 90%, that's fully capped. That's without those boots that say they give me the healing. We can see we heal for a crit of 98k. And then we equip the boots, and we should increase our outgoing healing by 5%, but technically, because outgoing healing is capped at 90%, without the boots, we should gain no increase, you would think. But we heal these guys and we're healing for 100k instead of just 98k. You can see on equipping the boots, equipping different ones, we critically heal for 98k. So it's still increasing our outgoing healing, even though we have that fully capped. So yes, the boots can be pretty useful. However, when you do the math and you look at the difference between 98k and 100k, well, that's only about 2,000 healing difference, which is only about 2% additional healing we're gaining. So not exactly as good as, let's say, I didn't have power capped and I were to just switch over to the Serene boots, and we can see now we should be able to heal for, you can see, 102k. That is more than using just those boots with the outgoing healing bonus there of 5%. So personally, there's no point using these boots. Do they work? Yes. Do they look like they don't work? Yes. They do not actually show it on your character sheet, as it is an entirely separate bonus, much like you have with the Lionheart. Let's say we remove our companion again. We dismiss that there. We can see 74.8% outgoing healing. Let's switch over to like the Celestial, which has close enough item level, and you can see we still only have 74.8% outgoing healing, even though the Lionheart, as you can see when you have it equipped, claims to increase your outgoing healing by 7.5%. That is because you have a hidden statistic, much like for damage dealers, that you add additional healing bonuses too. That's not directly your outgoing healing. statistic. And those things are then entirely separate. So keep that in mind when claiming something doesn't work. Try and phrase it a bit more like you aren't seeing an increase if you don't actually go and test it. It's very easy to test. You just saw how I went through the process there. Super easy. Just make sure you don't have anything on your character sheet that's going to change your statistics to make it so that you heal inconsistently. That's why I removed my helmet, which I had the crit severity bonus helmet here. Basically, every time I had that on and I was healing, we could see when we critically heal, it would be different every time because we would gain an extra stat or an extra 1% critical severity, and thus we would increase in our heals. So again, those boots do work as they say they do, but don't increase your outgoing healing stat. They increase the hidden outgoing healing. Personally, do not run with these boots. Absolute waste. The only time you would is, let's say you're running an augment and you're gaining your statistics from there and you don't need more ratings. That's when, let's say, the serene boots wouldn't be as good if you already have so much power. But personally, go with an active companion instead of like an augment that gives you stats, and this active companion can help your team out, dealing more damage, having more survivability, and overall then you can use these boots that give you power, the serene boots. Far better bonus, won't reduce your incoming healing, and additionally it's pretty easy to maintain as long as you're trying to avoid damage, and otherwise you're the healer. You're generally going to heal yourself pretty easily, along with then just being able to top up with a stone of health. Generally not going to be targeted as much as a damage dealer or a tank if you're playing correctly in a decent group. Public group with random people and they aren't doing much damage and they're dying while they're tanking, you might end up with the aggro and taking a bit more pain than necessary. So with that, I'd like to give a special thank you to all of these channel members for the continued support. And if I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.